Today, I have a motion to suspend the rules to allow the video depicting the events occurring on March 30th, 2023 to be played in the chamber at this time. I so move.
That's a proper motion, proper seconded. Any objection? All right, there's objection. That means we are voting. Members, just so you know, the vote to overcome the objection is 66 votes, just so you know. It's not a simple majority. Representative Parkinson.
Go first.
Mr. Speaker, with this motion he's making, is we talking about the entire video? What portion of the video? What are we talking about?
That would be a question for Representative Garrett. Representative Garrett.
This is a 7-minute video of the public's video of all the action that took place on the floor.
Well, there's objection. Representative Johnson from Knox.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think that what we're talking about here and the resolution against me is about what happened on this House floor. So I would assume we would keep that video to the House floor.
Was that a point of order, or is that a question or just a statement? You started by saying point of order.
It's what I want to say.
Okay. Chairman Clemens.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is, first of all, we had no prior notice of this motion to suspend the rules. Second of all, we are looking at a piece of evidence here is what has been proposed to play in this body. It has, from what I understand, it is a selective portion of a bigger picture. It does not encapsulate what happened to those poor children. It does not encapsulate what happened outside this building. It did not encapsulate or contain what the footage is from outside this chamber. We want to choose 7 minutes of what? I don't know what events that transpired is he referring to, is the sponsor referring to. So my question is, what 7 minutes? Why only 7 minutes, or why not 3 minutes? I think we need more explanation on this matter.
Representative Garrett.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think the video will speak for itself.
Chairman Clemens.
Mr. Speaker, this is completely out of order. This is completely unorthodox. The people who are the subject of this resolution have been refused the video, access to the video. We do not know if it's selectively edited. We do not know what 7 minutes we're talking about here. I mean, if we're going to have due process or something resembling due process, I think it's only fair for not only the people who are subject to expulsion, but also the leaders at the very least to be given a heads up as to what this video is, shown the video in advance, and let us prepare for this. We have at least one member who is represented by counsel. Counsel has not seen this video in preparation for this defense. So, Mr. Speaker, if we are going to maintain some semblance of fairness here, then by all means, I would ask that we vote against this motion to suspend the rules, because I don't know what they have chosen. I don't know what the video is. I don't even know if the video contains any depiction of the people subject to the resolution. How do we even know if it's relevant? If we start off in this manner, this is going to go downhill really quickly. I do not want to set this precedent, and I think in all fairness, I understand some of you may already have your mind made up, but you would expect fairness if you were in this position. Every one of us expects fairness. There are property interests at stake here. There are seats. There are 200,000 individuals who are seeking asylum, and to be blindsided by a selective video that I've never seen, I've never heard about, the defendants of this matter have never even heard about, it's highly unorthodox. It's highly inappropriate. It's highly prejudicial, and we don't even know if it's relevant. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. It was a proper motion, proper second. There was discussion. There is objection. Oh, That's right. So we're on discussion on whether or not to suspend the rules to allow the viewing of the video. That's where we're at. And so right now, that's where we are. It's a proper motion, proper second. It's before us. There's objection. We're discussing it. Chairman Clemens.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think we deserve, at the very least, I maintain my objection, but we at least need a description of what the video entails before people vote so they actually have an idea of what they're voting on. We don't know. So I would ask the sponsor of this motion again to describe what is in the video that we're seeing, whether it's edited, whether it's selectively edited, whether it contains the subjects of the resolutions or does not. Please, we need some information here before we vote so that we can vote in an informed manner. And I know Representative Mitchell, Representative Towns, and others have questions as well.
Appreciate you calling their names. Leader Lamberth, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I wanted to get back to the motion at hand directly. The motion says, I move to suspend the rules to allow video depicted events occurring on March 30th, 2023 to be played in the chamber at this time. While there may be one member that has a video ready, the motion itself is to suspend the rules to allow video. If others have video that is ready, then that is a road we can obviously go down. But the motion is to allow video depicted events occurring. So I understand the objections, but I, for one, would like to see whatever video. So before I vote on any motion for expulsion, that I can see video of exactly what occurred on this House floor. I was here that day. Most of us were here that day. But if there is video of exactly what occurred here, I may want to see it during our debate as to definitely what to do. And I, for one, have not made my mind up yet. So I would like to look at the video, listen to the debate, and make a determination at that time.
Representative Mitchell.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, folks, this is more or less a trial. So what we're doing right here is we're presenting evidence to the jury before we know whether it's prejudicial or not, which is totally unfair to the defense. From my understanding, the three individuals have not been allowed the video from the leadership. Now, how is that fair when you will not let the people that you're trying to expel have a fair defense, when you won't even let them have the video, but you're willing to show a video that you haven't even allowed the defense to see? You're going to show it to the jury, and the defendants are going to see it at the same time for the first time that the jury sees it. How is that fair? You know, not just the folks in this room are watching, not just the folks in this state are watching, but the entire nation is watching us today. So if you want to go down this road and show the entire nation just how things work here, just go right ahead. Or let's pretend to be fair one time and do the right thing. Thank you.
Representative Towns.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. Mr. Speaker, I'm also troubled by what I'm hearing on this House floor today. I've been there a very long time, and I've seen a lot of activity, good and bad, especially during the time of the income tax invasion against the state income tax during the state. There was quite a bit going on, and quite a bit was done and was said. But what we're doing today is seemingly we're selecting a video to be shown that's going to obviously show the harshest side where the emotions were inflamed and high. Now, what that's going to do, members, is this. We're 1 week removed from that. What you're getting ready to experience is you're getting ready to re-sensitize yourself to how you felt that day. The purpose of leaving and coming back is where we should have cooled off, better judgment, cooler heads prevail. But if you're showing a video where we were in the thrust and the heat of what was happening that day, you're going to go right back to how you felt that day. Now, that does not give these men and women a chance, an even chance, because you have those same feelings that you had then. It's a done deal. It's a stacked deal. It's a done deal. That's not fair. That is not fair. And then they have counsel and they didn't know anything about it. That's called an ambush. Sneaking behind the bush and hitting somebody in the head with a brick. That's not fair. We shouldn't do our members like that, because these members have been sent here by people of the state of Tennessee. Fair is fair, and fair when it ain't fair is wrong. We attempted to sensitize members to make them feel just how they felt last Thursday. That's not right, and you all know it's not right. Why? You have the numbers, you have the vote. Why do that? Why would we do that? Go down that road. Give them a fair chance. Give everybody a fair chance. Treat them like members, whether you like them or not. Giving them an opportunity to defend themselves fairly, but not with their hands tied behind their back, not with duct tape on their mouths. They can't fight for themselves. Nobody likes to stack deck. Nobody likes to be treated unfairly. If you whip them fair and square, if you whip a man fair and square, he'll shake your hand. But you build resentment when you don't do it fairly. You build resentment. You have the numbers. Treat them right in a fair process. And that's not too much to ask. That's demanding fair treatment, as I would for you and anybody on this House floor. You treat people right, not because you have the bigger gun, the bigger muscles, or the most money. You treat people right. And they're not being treated right now because it's ambushing them. They don't know how to fight and develop their strategy to retort what's going to be said on this House floor. And I know many of you are very close and personally, and I know that you're good people and you know how to do things the right way. Don't stack the deck. This comes back to haunt us. This comes back to hunt every member on this House floor. Untie their hands. Allow them to fight for themselves. Do what's right, members. We don't need to see that video. That video, we don't need to see today, because you're going to make everybody upset again. And that's the goal of it, the only goal it could be. Some members probably cooled off and want to do something different. But when you see that damn thing, you're going to have a problem. That's not right. Treat my members fairly. Treat everybody fairly. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Garrett, okay. Chairman Clemens was next.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We need to get to the authentication of this video. We need to know who made it, who edited it, why was it not provided to leadership. The authenticity of this recording is certainly in question, and is certainly at the very least necessary before we introduce it into evidence, so to say, in this hearing, to the extent we're going to have any due process on this floor at all today. So my questions to the sponsor would again be, as a fellow attorney, would you please authenticate this video, speak to who recorded it, who edited it, and why was it not provided to leadership?
Representative Garrett.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I understand all your comments, questions. All of us were eyewitnesses of what happened to the People's Well. Every single one of us. This video is going to depict the events that took place that day and the members' response to same. There's nothing nefarious. There's nothing that's been edited in a way other than what happened and depicted that day. So with that, ask for your support so this body can see what it took to overcome this well.
Chairman Clemens.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As the sponsor of this motion just said, everybody witnessed what happened that day. So I'm, again, if everybody in here are the ones who get to vote on this, then why do we need the video? Everybody in here already saw it. Everybody lived through it. Everybody experienced it. So again, I've yet to hear a basis for admitting this into evidence with no authenticity provided whatsoever to support its admissibility on this floor. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir. All right. Representative Pearson.
I'm going to call the question.
Question's been called. Is there objection? There's objection. We're on the board. We are voting on the objection. All those in favor of previous question, vote aye when the bell rings. Those opposed, vote no. Mr. Clerk, take the vote.
Aye, 72, 23 nays, 1 present, not voting.
Previous question prevails. We are voting on the motion made by Representative Garrett. All those in favor, vote aye when the bell rings. Those opposed, vote no. Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change their vote? Mr. Clerk, take the vote.
Aye, 72, 24 nays, 2 present, not voting.
The motion prevails. Mr. Clerk, play the video.
And to each of you who've decided to make the fight for a better Tennessee possible, for you who've taken off from school and from work because you believe that our state can be better, because you believe that Cameron and his pawns here that are supported by the NRA don't have the final say for the future that we have, for you who believe in justice and advocacy and who believe in democracy, thank you. Because our fight is not over. I can tell you today we're going to win, but we're going to win. I can tell you the bill that we're going to pass that flows waters like righteousness and justice like everyone, but it's going to come. And it's going to be because you choose to stand up. These folks are old, they're fixed. These folks are not going to last into the future that we create and craft together. But if we remain steadfast and unmovable, if we follow the leaders like Gloria and Justin, if we do not yield and do not quit, if we remain focused on our vision, which is that kids should go to school without worrying about dying. Teachers should go to classrooms without worrying about becoming sick. If we believe that this is the one that our democracy is built on, and it's too old to ask to it not just today, but tomorrow and in the days to come, surely justice will come. To the media, there comes a time when we have to do something out of the ordinary. That's why we're standing in the well today, occupying the well, because our colleagues refuse to listen to the people of Tennessee. You left us with no other choice. We asked you, what will we do? You ignored the calls of the people today. We don't want to be up here, but we have no choice but to find a way to get in the way and disrupt business as normal, because business as normal is our children dying. That's right. Business as normal is the proliferation of military weapons in our communities. That's right. And so will we do something today, colleagues? The choice is yours. The choice is yours. The people are asking us. That's right. That's right. I heard a great chant out there. Power to the people. 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 Not to the NRA. Not to our beliefs that allow us to be silent in the face of injustice. Power to the people who march, the people who speak up, the people who advocate. Power to you. And so we're not going anywhere. And they can take as long as they need. We'll be here. No justice, no peace. No action, 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 no peace. Whose house? Our house. 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 Gun control now. 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 We can't wait. We can't wait. We deserve gun control now. That's right. That's right. Again, thank you. 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 We can never quit. And truly, if we never quit, we can never lose. They bank on us quitting, getting tired, getting so weary in our well-doing that we don't act for justice anymore. We don't protest for justice anymore. We don't say anything against the status quo. That's what they're banking on. But each and every one of you are proof that we will not be silent. We will not be quiet. We will not be stopped in our pursuit. And so thank you for being here. Thank all of your colleagues for being here. You are being heard and listened to, and we will not quit.
Chairman Holsey, you are recognized.
I think it's important that you note we have accountability and responsibility, and personally I have accountability and responsibility for what we did on Thursday. It broke House decorum. It did not follow the House's rules.
I know, and my colleagues, I believe, I don't want to speak for them, knew I was breaking a House rule.
Chairman Holsey, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move adoption of H.R. 65.
Chairman Holsey moves adoption of H.R. 65, properly seconded. Chairman, all right. Point of order by who?
Well, question.
We're on the resolution.
I appreciate that, Mr. Speaker, but I would like the clerk, if you could read what part of that video appeared to be recorded on the House floor. So could you read the rule in the permanent rules of order with regard to recording on the House floor by members?
Mr. Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, just to be clear, is the representative asking about the rule about members recording and live streaming the proceedings of the House?
Chairman Clemens.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, Rule 2, no member or staff member of the House of Representatives shall record or live stream the proceedings of the House, a House committee, joint convention, or joint committee. The preceding sentence shall not apply during floor presentations under welcoming and honoring, or to any official recording or live stream produced, archived, and authorized for distribution by the General Assembly or House of Representatives.
Chairman Clemens.
Thank you. So would a member who made that recording that was shown in that video have violated that rule?
Chairman Clemens. Mr. Clark. Mr. Clark.
Mr. Speaker, I believe at the time during those events, the House was in recess.
Chairman Clemens.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We were not in recess, in fact, until much later. And if we were in recess, it would have been reflected on the video. I would argue that whoever made that recording was in direct violation of the permanent rules of order adopted by the House of Representatives. And so I think that point needs to be in the record, that we not only have failed to authenticate a video that was shown on this floor, we have failed to identify who recorded it. It obviously wasn't provided by anybody in the House Democratic Caucus because we don't know where it came from. So somebody across the aisle who sponsored this resolution or a party to this resolution broke House rules. So are we going to punish them as well today?
Mr. Clark.
Mr. Speaker, if a member was recording the proceedings of this body while the House was in session, yes, they violated the House rules. Recordings made while the House was in recess would not be while the House was having proceedings. If a member felt that another member was recording during session in violation of the rules, they could have raised a point of order at the time of the violation.
Chairman Clemens. Chairman Clemens.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So at this time, then, I would like to know the recorder of that video and if they would be willing to speak if they recorded that video during the recess. I think that's only appropriate for the record.
That's a question. I don't know who you're directing that to, but we were doing point of orders. Chairman Clemens.
Okay, well, then the point, if there's going to be a potential argument made that that recording was made by a member during recess, then wasn't also the behavior of my colleagues that was on the recording in recess? And how is that a violation of the rules?
Mr. Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, that's the subject of these resolutions that is up for debate by the body as to what infractions to the rules occurred and when.
Chairman Clemens.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Clerk. Well, that just goes to the matter of why we try to authenticate video before you admit it into evidence. You want to know the facts, who made it, when it was made, at what point it was made, who edited it, whatever happened. Also, the motion was inappropriate, and the motion didn't cover activities that took place off the floor of representatives. So half that video was shown against the rules of this House because it wasn't even encapsulated in, or covered by the motion that was made to watch the video.
We'll check that to make sure. Hang on. Mr. Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, the motion was to have video of that day's events played in the chamber at this time.
Chairman Clemens.
I don't believe that was, if that was in fact the same motion, the press conference clips that were shown were not even made that same day. That was the next day. So here we have another violation of the rules, and we're not playing by the same rules in an even manner that's creating a fair process. Also, I'd like to raise a point of order that the ethics rules governing this House say that anyone who knowingly knows of someone who broke the House rules and doesn't report them has also violated a rule. So at this time, I'd like to know if anyone knows who violated that rule. Obviously, multiple people in this room saw this video before it came to the floor today, so you all know that someone knowingly broke the rules in the order of this House. So you have all violated the rules at this point, everyone who knows that that video exists at least. So again, the point of order is, are we going to expel everyone in this House that knows that video was made and by whom?
Yeah, I mean, Chairman Clemens, you would have to prove that that video was taken prior to the recess. There's people who believe that video was taken after the recess. So therefore, that would not be an ethics violation or against the House rules. If you would like to prove that that's otherwise, we can do that another time. But right now, we're currently are where we are. Chairman Clemens.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I appreciate that. At this time, then, I would like to. I think we should take a look at the House tape, the formal recording of this body, and see when that took place and as to whether or not that video did evidence a violation of the rules. I think that before we proceed today, I think that's 100% appropriate. Otherwise, also, if it does turn out that that entire thing took place during recess, then how did they break the rules if we were in recess? So we can't have it both ways, Mr. Speaker.
Chairman Clemens, I believe the first of the videos showed that they did break rules by going to the well and showing that they were at the well, they were speaking, they pulled out a bullhorn and ruled out an order before there was a recess. That's what the first part of that video was that I saw. Chairman Clemens.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. But we also saw in that video that that recording was made by somebody on the House floor that is also questionably a violation of the House rules and ethics rules. And so anyone who knowingly knew about that or took that recording violated the House ethics rules. Therefore, at this time, I move to refer House Resolutions 63, 64, and 65 to the House Select Committee on Rules.
That's proper motion, proper second. We are voting. All those in favor of moving House Resolutions 63, 64, and 65 to the House Select Committees on Rules, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote no. Mr. Clerk, take the vote.
Ayes 25, 73 nays.
Motion fails. Representative Parkinson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm